Is Israel committing ethnic cleansing? So here's where this is really interesting. Recently, I was in Beverly Hills. I was doing some filming, and I met a guy, and he had on a necklace, two necklaces actually. And on one of the necklaces, he had Arabic writing, and then on the other necklace, he had the Star of David. And I asked him what it was about. We ended up talking, and it was so fascinating. So he's Arab, but he says he believes in the nation of Israel. And I said, "Are you Israeli?" And I don't remember if he told me he was or not, but he had told me why he supports Israel being a nation. And I thought it was really interesting. So we got to talking, and I decided to do some information. You know, you'll often hear news outlets say things like, Israel's doing ethnic cleansing, they're extremely racist, this type of terminology. And I thought, is that true? Now, I'm not saying there aren't those who think this way, but I'm saying the overall narrative, is this true? So I got some information here I'd like to read you, and I thought it's interesting. So I looked up the Arab population in Israel in the last 10 years, and here's what I have. The Arab population in Israel has grown steadily over the last 10 years, increasing from roughly 1.75 million people in 2016 to around 2.15 million people in 2026, okay? It says, throughout this decade, the Arab citizens and permanent residents have consistently accounted for around 20 to 21% of the country's total population. This demographic group includes Muslims, Christians, Druze communities, alongside Arab residents of East Jerusalem who hold permanent residency status. Now, if this nation is so bent on wiping out the Arabs, how then can the Arab population have increased so much in the last 10 years? In addition to that, Arabs hold many public offices in the nation of Israel, such as judges and other high-level occupations. So if this nation was really about just supposedly wiping out the Arab population would not be growing there. In addition to that, I'd like you to ask yourself, how many Jews live and thrive in Arab nations? Well, they don't. But yet, an Arab can thrive in Israel. In addition to that, I remember when I was talking to this guy, who himself is Muslim, and says many people have turned on him because he supports the nation of Israel being a nation. The question became, who would you rather have as your neighbor? An extreme Islamist or an extreme Jew? And both of us said, without a doubt, an extreme Jew, because an extreme Jew is not going to try to force you to convert to their religion. They're not going to impose on you Sharia law. They're going to treat their women better. And I know this is hard for people to hear, but these are just things that are true. It's like, how many Jewish terrorists do you know that are blowing themselves up in the name of their faith? That doesn't exist. So you have to ask yourself the question then, where do we get these narratives? And it's really funny because you'll hear groups like the LGBTQ community say things like queers for Palestine or queers for these people in the Middle East, but in any of these nations, if they were to go to it, they'd be killed. They'd be thrown off a roof for even having these ideas. And so it's kind of like you want to support a group that would essentially have you killed. It doesn't make any sense. And so, and again, it's really interesting where we get these narratives from, that Israel supposedly wants, you know, to destroy or ethnic cleanse the area, or it's a Holocaust, but yet the Arab population has grown steadily over the last 10 years, and they hold official office positions within the country. So it doesn't make any sense to me with this narrative. I'd love to know your comment section. I'd love to know your comments in the section below. Thank you so much.